Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is scheduled for one fall. Dude, I'm not reading the rest of this. You don't even pay me. Just click your button, start the show.
Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of The Gimmick Table. I'm your host, Matt, and as always, I am joined by my lovely, lovely co-host. He is the boombox to my John Cusack, Bats. How you doing today, Bats?
In your eyes, I am complete.
No, you're not. This is why you need a writer. No, it was funny, dude. I'm just ragging on you. All right. I can't let you know that you're improving. Today's show is brought to you by AdvanceAutoParts.com. Save 20% off your first order at www.advanceautooffer.com/gimmick. And all you got to do is enter promo code AAP20 CAST for 20% savings. We also want to let everybody know on September 15th at 8 p.m. at the American Legion Post 80 in Binghamton, New York, you can catch X-Site Wrestling as they present World War X. General admission is going to cost you $15 if you get them ahead of time. They're going to be $20 at the door. A War Game Steel Cage match. Team Excite, which is going to feature Joe Gacy, Sean Carr, Rob Cook, Axel Lennox, and Greg Excellent.
And they will be taking on the Crusade for Change, TJ Marconi, Stockade, Anthony Gangone, Alex Payne, and Pat Sawyer.
All right, guys, and please join us in welcoming to the Gimmick Table. He is the wild child, Matthias Thrasher. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Anytime. We're so glad that we could hook up with you. We just had a couple technical difficulties. We like mentioning those on the airs because we were looking at your awesome collection of 80s toys. And it looks like you got some old school Nintendo video games up there.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I'm a big collector of video games and toys. I try to make my room into like an 80s museum, 80s and early 90s museum.
And out of all the video games from that time frame, what is your favorite?
Probably the Mega Man games. I got Mega Man tattoos, so.
Like Sega Genesis?
I was a Nintendo kid.
Oh, so yeah, those are all Super Nintendo games?
Those are mainly NES games. I got some Super Nintendo ones.
Do you still bust them out and play them?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm one of those weirdos that, like, even if I have like an emulator, I'll still play it on my actual NES, popping VHS tapes into the VCR instead of watching them on Blu-ray.
You're all about authenticity.
Yeah, I try to.
You can play it on an emulator, but it's not the same thing as having that real controller in your hand.
Exactly.
Having to blow in the cartridge 6 or 7 times, trying to get the video game to work, hit and reset.
Yeah, that's part of the fun.
It specifically says on the back of those cartridges not to blow into them.
It rusts the contacts and it makes it terrible.
It's just so fun to pull out like an old game and be like, and dust it off and then pop it in the slot and boot up.
Yeah, they probably did it on purpose so kids will like fuck up the games and then the parents will have to buy them a new one.
Some marketing strategy right there.
Back when the video games would say not for resale on them now that's one of the biggest commercial markets is used video games.
Until everything goes digital.
Ooh. That's what they want, so nobody can ever trade in their games. So now, does your earliest memories of wrestling go back to the 80s?
Oh yeah, that's my first love was wrestling, and that's something that stuck with me the whole life. Like it's not one of those things that was a fad. I've always watched wrestling. So even like video games and toys and everything, like I'd be like on and off with that, but wrestling was just always a constant.
And do you recall any of like those first early childhood memories of wrestling that really stuck out to you that made you love it?
Yeah, my earliest memory is like it's kind of foggy because I was super young, but I was at the live show where a Big Boss Man turned on Hulk Hogan. I was probably maybe 4. I'm not really sure. But my dad was there, and there's pictures of me, and I'm small as shit. He's like holding me in his hand, and I'm like sucking my thumb. I have a blanket and everything. But yeah, like I remember that, and just stuff like that, like Hulk Hogan, and those are my earliest memories.
What brought you guys to that event? It was just in town, so you went to it?
Probably. I have no idea. I was so damn little. He's probably, this would be cool to take the kid to wrestling.
Well, it obviously stuck with you.
Shit, yeah, it did.
Kind of go through the years. Who were like starting off as a young kid? Who were some of your favorite wrestlers to watch?
When I was a little kid, I was, of course, cheering for the good guys. So, like, Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior were really big for me. And then as I got a little older, I started cheering for the heels more, like Demolition, because I grew up as a metal kid, so Demolition they were cool as hell to me because they looked like black metal guys. And I adored everything Bobby Heenan ever did. Like that guy's awesome. He's probably my favorite wrestling personality ever. Like just his humor, like he like kind of like made my sense of humor in a way because he was like kind of a smart ass. And that's kind of how I just adopted that, and I've always been that way.
So what about now? Like who would you say, going from Hulk Hogan turning into the heels, who do you kind of like to watch now that you are a wrestler?
Chris Jericho is my biggest inspiration to get into wrestling. Like his last run was so refreshing to me because he kind of had a couple stale ones, and then he just came back and just did all last year was awesome. But I'm more into like the New Japan stuff right now. Like my favorite guy to watch is probably Tetsuya Naito and of course Shinsuke Nakamura, like guys like that.
Yeah, Naito just beat Omega and he's going to the
Yeah, he won
Tokyo Dome.
G1. I was so happy.
That was a really
there you go.
good match.
You threw Omega in
I
here.
did get. I'm a big Kenny Omega fan.
Me too.
Sweet.
Because he's a Mega Man fan, so.
Yeah, and
His,
he's
his
just.
Blue Thunder Bomb's called the Dr. Wily Bomb, so I love that.
I really, that's one of the things I do appreciate him, how well he does incorporate, the video game style into who he is and even into his moves, the one-winged angel.
Yeah.
His sweet
Yeah, I get all those references. Yeah, I understand what he's doing.
So when did you decide, I don't want to just be a fan, I want to go out there and do this?
Well, I decided it's something I wanted to do my whole life, but I've always been one of those like ambitious thinkers, but I never took action. And then I got, I think I was 26, and like I was just like always listening to shooting interviews while playing video games and stuff. And it's kind of like one of those like I need to either do this or don't do it. And then I read Chris Jericho's first book, and that just like really pushed me over the edge. Like I need to go to a wrestling school and at least try it, or I'll be mad at myself the rest of my life. So I was just like whining about it on Facebook, like I wish there was a wrestling school around me. Wah. And then my buddy, who's like a graphic designer, he said, this wrestling school in town contacted me about doing a commercial for him. I was like, are you serious? So like he gave me his contact information. I called him, went ahead a tryout, and it just kind of went from there.
Tell us a little more about that tryout. What was that like for you?
The tryout I was obviously nervous at first, but I was also like really excited because I'd never even stepped inside a wrestling ring like at all. And luckily I always kept myself in pretty good shape because the guy was like, he said he was trying to make me throw up and he almost achieved that. It's like I was sitting there signing the contract at the end. He's like, how was it? And I was like trying not to talk too much because like I was like on the verge, like either I'm going to puke or I'm not. And I'm just trying to take breaths. Like, oh, it was good. Oh. Because like I'm sitting like I'm running ropes and I'm like taking like back bumps and stuff and like front bumps, and the dude gave me a body slam out of nowhere and I'm just like flipping around like holy shit. But yeah, like the trial went really well. Like he told me like this isn't a test to see if you can do it, it's to see if it's something you want to do. So basically he's gonna kick my ass and test my endurance, shit like that. I made it through it.
Good for you. And where was the school that you trained at?
I was in it was called the Glass City Pro Wrestling Academy in Toledo, where I'm from, Toledo, Ohio.
And tell us about some of your trainers there.
The head trainer was a guy named Dick Nasty. He was in the business a long time, locally and stuff. And we had like a lot of different people coming in every once in a while. Another guy I can credit a lot is a guy named Chris Chambers. He's around here. He taught me a lot. He worked just individually a lot because we had a pretty strong bond. He's the one that actually got me hooked on the like Japanese style because I was kind of, when I first started out, didn't really know, I had no direction. I was just going in there trying to do my best. I didn't have a character yet, any sort of certain style. I was just trying to do things that I thought was cool. And then I realized like I just want to punch and elbow people and kick people really hard.
So how long did you go between your first day in training to your first day in an actual match? How long was that?
I'd say it was about 9 months or so. I started training in, I think, September of 2010. I think it was by around April they wanted me to start doing shows, but I didn't want to jump the gun. I didn't really feel comfortable yet. I didn't want to go out there and like blow it on my debut or anything. So I turned down a couple shows, and it was around June of that year, 2011. I felt comfortable enough, so I went out there and did it, and it was awesome. Well,
it seems like it's a smart move. Not, if you're not comfortable, obviously for your own safety and the participants that are going to be in there with you, it's a smart move not to take that risk and jeopardize any future career in the business right from the beginning.
I wasn't worried about that. I just didn't want to go out there and look like an asshole. No, I'm just kidding.
There's that too, you got that ego and pride thing too. That always.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you've never done anything in front of a crowd before, it's scary.
Actually, my first match was kind of crazy because it wasn't just like a one-on-one match or anything. Like it was just like Royal Rumble style battle, like where there was 20 people. There was this like radio station promoting it and everything, and there was music playing the whole time. And I didn't just like run in and get thrown out like I should have on my debut. Like I was the fourth one in, and they wanted me to make it to the last two because they wanted me to be this like big baby face, and I always wanted to be a heel. And there's music playing the whole time, and anytime somebody came out, like the music paused, it said their name and a movie. Like it was weird. I was like, what the hell is happening?
So basically it was just a big mosh pit.
Yeah, pretty much. I was just punching people in the corner and making sure I didn't get thrown out.
And you made it all the way. You were one of the last two participants. That's got to be a pretty good feeling for your debut.
Yeah, and they had a lot of faith in me right off the bat. I think I get by more on my personality backstage than I did in my in-ring when I first started out, because like I'm nice to everybody. I can't get offended. I just try to joke around all the time. But I know when to be serious, but I don't like to.
I hear you.
Elaborate for us, who is the Wild Child?
Well, he started out basically like a minor extension of me. Like I just wanted he's pretty much a power metal singer because I'm really into like power and thrash metal. And so I wore like the black leather pants. I did like falsetto screams. Like, yeah, this just basically trying to copy Chris Jericho too much at first, I guess. Then I kind of just like got more goofy as time went on.
So
once I started getting comfortable.
Who would you say you are now, opposed to somebody who was trying to take a lot of inspiration from Chris Jericho?
I'm basically like a combination of my in-ring style anyway is I'd say my three main takeaways is there's still a lot of Chris Jericho. There's a ton of Nakamura. Like I do a lot of his strikes and stuff, and Tetsuya Naito. I take a lot from his mannerisms, just the way he conducts himself in the ring, even though he's a heel. Because I'm stuck in like permanent babyface mode. It's been like that forever.
Do you ever want to go to a more heelish character?
Eventually, or like it may be in like a different promotion or something. The only time I get to work heel is when I do cosplay wrestling, which is that's my favorite thing to do. Because I can go out and like wrestle as video game characters and stuff.
That is sweet.
Like I do this convention in Philadelphia called Too Many Games. In the last 2 years, I've worked 2 different times, and then to be Sub-Zero as a heel. Get to be Mega Man. So, and of course he's like the baby face. Yeah.
Obviously you have a limited experience as a heel, but what do you find to be more satisfying as a performer?
I've literally only worked 2 matches as a heel, and I had so much fun both times. Especially the last time because I was like wrestling like my best friend, this guy named Joe King. Hi Joe, if you're listening to this, you should, fucker. And, I was Sub-Zero and he was Ryu from Street Fighter, and like we were literally like we have ice powers and Hadoukens, and we went out there, and the cosplay wrestling is fun because the crowd in a video game convention is not all wrestling fans. It's just people that are there to be at a video game convention, and they hear a lot of noise and they come over and they watch. So you kind of got to have like a lot of stuff that can cater to like the wrestling fans, and you got to do like goofy like video game stuff to like make those people happy. And I think we found a good formula in the last match for sure.
I mean, that definitely sounds entertaining to anybody who likes video games. Like, what better that? Because anybody at those conventions is always looking at 2 characters and being like, "That'd be cool to see them fight each other."
Uh-huh. Yeah, like when I was in the match with Sub-Zero, like I started out as like just like really like kind of quiet, mysterious heel, and like by the end I was totally like shit heel, like cheating all the time. Like the finish was like he like hit me with like 2 like big Hadoukens, and everybody thought I was out, and he went to pin me, and like the ref counted 2, and when the ref went to count 3, I froze the referee with my ice powers because I'm Sub-Zero. And then like Ryu's like, "What's happening?" And like I low blow him and axe kick him, and I cover him, and the ref comes down and hits 3, and I'm like, "Yeah, I won!"
No.
And the crowd's like, "What the?"
That's quite a twist on the little switcheroo.
Yeah, like I every time I watch it, I still laugh because it's fucking funny.
That's pretty great.
I didn't know if you guys saw the last March. I wrestled Joey Ryan as Mega Man, and that was probably one of the most fun times I had in the ring, just because how goofy it was.
I did not get a chance to see that, but I'm gonna have to go find that now. You'll have to send it to me because that's really piqued my interest.
Yeah, I stole his dick powers and flipped him.
Wait, you did the dick flip?
Yeah, I think I'm still the only man to ever dick flip him.
That is quite the accomplishment.
Since I did it as Mega Man, I renamed that move in that specific time to the Dong Spiral because that sounds like more of a Mega Man ability.
Yeah, it does.
I was really like kind of nervous to like I got lucky to even get in that spot because the show I was working, it was a convention in Cincinnati, and it was supposed to be Joey Ryan versus Matt Cross in the main event, but Matt Cross broke his leg like a week before it, and I messaged the guy running the convention. I was like, "Hey, it'd be a shame if Mega Man didn't get to absorb Joey Ryan's dick powers and use it against him at some point in the weekend." And he was like, "I think I'm going to have you wrestle him one-on-one in the main event." I was like, "Oh shit, all right." And then like we got to the show, and like I didn't even meet him until I was in my Mega Man costume. So I had to kind of like nervous to pitch him the idea because I don't want him to think like, "Who's this asshole wanting to do my move? He's dressed up like a clown." So I was like, I just got to talking to him, and I tried to like soften it, like, "Well, I could absorb your power and I can try to use it, but you overpower me and throw me over the ring or something." And he like goes in this like super like pro mode, like going shit over in his head, like just like blah, blah, blah. And he's like, "No, I think you should dick flip me." I'm like, "What?
What?
Okay." that's what I wanted.
But that's awesome that you just went out there.
Yeah.
There was this opportunity. You had this really funny, great idea. You pitched it, not thinking anything might ever come of it. And then boom, you're in the main event versus Joey Ryan doing the dong spiral.
Yeah. It was like the whole night was surreal. Like Matthew of Botchamania was on commentary with Matt Cross, and like I was like, this is it's almost one of those things like I don't feel like I should be here. This is awesome.
I mean, it kind of makes you really feel like Mega Man, like you really absorbed his power there.
Yeah, I was Mega Man. The only bummer about the whole thing was like I recorded it and I uploaded it to YouTube, and he took a clip of the part where I absorbed his power and like used it against him and put it on his like Twitter and Facebook and stuff, and it got like 100,000 views on his thing. At mentioned me on Twitter or anything, so I was just like nameless Mega Man guy that thousands of people are watching.
Anyone who doesn't know Mega Man is like, who's this blue robot?
Just like my friends, like on Twitter stuff, like that's who Mega Man is. Like, give him credit. I'm like, I don't care. I was just happy that I could be a part of it.
That's awesome. At the end of the day, you still got to do the dick flip. So what are some of your favorite moves to perform? I know you're obviously probably a fan of the strong style and things like that, but out of all the moves in your repertoire, what are your favorite to do?
Well, I could do an inverted exploder, but only my friend Joe will actually take it, because a lot of people don't like taking that move, which is obvious. That's why John Cena got dropped on his head.
Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, if you can't take that move, you shouldn't even try it.
No. What was the finisher again? It cut out again.
Oh, it's a code breaker.
All right, yeah, homage to Chris Jericho.
Right.
And what you said earlier, I meant to mention of this. Chris Jericho, for me personally, when he was on Raw, he was really the lifeblood of that show for the last year that he was on there.
Yeah, he kept me watching it because like I was like getting like a lot like disinterested. Like I would be playing a video game and listening to Raw in the background, but I would actually like watch when he was on.
Yeah, I would stop whatever I was doing and actually go pay attention. Because, I mean, I really felt like, honestly, I felt like it should have been him and Owens for the world title.
Yeah, it absolutely should have been. That Goldberg shit was so annoying. Like, I didn't even want to watch. It made me, like, legit mad. Like, I don't get mad at wrestling a lot, but I was like, I was so pissed.
Yeah, those two worked so hard and did so much. One, to help elevate Kevin Owens where he deserves to be. Also show that Jericho, at what got a 20-plus year career, is still the freaking GOAT.
Yeah, and other things I like to do is, I like the last year, I did a thing that started off as a joke, but it kind of is starting to become my gimmick. Do you know what boglins are, by any chance?
I've noticed them on your page.
That's the little thing you got hanging on your belt.
I actually have written down here your shirt, which I thought was hilarious, the King of Bog Style.
Yeah, you see that, listeners? This guy right here. I was wrestling my buddy Joe in a no holds barred match, and I always take my little boglin guy wherever I go, just because I don't know, I'm a weirdo. I was like, dude, I'm gonna punch you with the boglin in that match, and he's like, that's awesome, you should. And I did it, and like a lot of people liked it, and I just kind of kept doing it. And like now he comes to the ring with me, and like I'm always advertised, like he accompanies me to the ring now. Like a lot of people are like, who they say accompanied you to the ring? Like, Boggy, what do you think? Like.
How did you come to acquire Boggy as your sidekick?
I've had him since I was 3.
Oh, he's like a childhood toy.
Yeah.
He's been your best bro for a long time.
He's really dirty and terrible looking now that I've been like wrestling with him.
How does he take? He takes a bump well, though, obviously.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm warming up before a show, I'll have one-on-one matches with him that I should probably record.
He's undefeated against you, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. He kicks my ass every time.
It's like the Invisible Man.
Yeah, it's like when Kota Ibushi wrestled a blow-up doll. It's kind of like that. I'm flopping around and punching myself in the face because he's on my hand.
Al Snow.
Yeah.
Al Snow in head.
Yeah, I told people I want to get rich enough to where I can give everybody in the crowd their own boglin, and I want to do that like ECW spot where everybody throws chairs in the ring at the opponent, but I just want them to like just pelt them with boglins.
That's good.
But yeah, that would be a lot of money because they're kind of expensive.
But it'd be a lot less painful.
No, it wouldn't. Boglins pack a most devastating punch in pro wrestling. I got to say that because.
Well, obviously, I've never been hit one. I guess if I come to one of your shows, you're gonna have to demonstrate it on my co-host.
Yeah. Okay. Will do.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Do boglins have like magic powers other than just being able to drop people with a single hit?
Not really magic powers, but as the commercials say, if you don't want to eat your vegetables, they'll eat it for you, and they'll kiss your Aunt Wanda and scare your sisters because that's what the '80s was obsessed with, scaring girls. And you don't eat your vegetables. That sucks.
Freak people out with this creepy little doll toy.
That's what it was all about. That's what was the whole like premise behind this thing.
Yeah, there's no more gross toys anymore. It's just like, download this app. Like, toys suck now.
Yeah, they're pretty much just like all the same thing with different skins on them.
And all the cool toys are like $80. Like oh, this He-Man action figure is awesome. It's like it costs $79. Like, oh, it's not so awesome anymore.
I feel like the only thing that's progressively gotten better with as a toy are Legos. Cause I am so pissed that these kids have like all these badass Lego sets nowadays, and like we had like 4.
Yeah,
It's just not
They're
fair.
still expensive as fuck.
Oh yeah.
yeah, they're like $100 for like. You want this car? You like, put it together once, and then it'll get destroyed, and you'll lose the directions.
Fun fact, Lego is the #1 producer of rubber tires in the world.
Oh shit!
Every single one of those little tires is like 100% to scale or some shit, so it counts as a real rubber tire.
Wow.
What?
Yep.
Did you make that up?
No, I
You're a
think
terrible
I read it
fact
on
checker.
either a Snapple cap or just somewhere on the internet. But
He gets all his knowledge from Snapple caps.
Oh, cool.
If it's not on a Snapple cap, he doesn't believe it.
I mean, that's not necessarily true. As long as it's on the internet, I'll believe it.
So tell us about some of your successes you've had in the ring so far.
Right now, I'm the current TV champion in the company I work with, WBW. I've been going on a year now. I've had that belt actually. I won it last September.
What's that been like for you?
Oh, it's been awesome. Me and my buddy Joe King, I was talking about earlier, like our careers kind of paralleled. I took about 3 years off when my son was born, because I wanted to like take care of him because babies need that. And then we started back up around the same time, like started like training together and everything. And we got put into a match. It was the first time we wrestled, and we clicked really well. Like, and then we ended up feuding pretty much the whole year, just back and forth. Like him is the heel, and I'm the baby face that keeps getting screwed. Like I get like fireballs thrown in my face and shit all the time, and we just like built up. Where we had a no holds barred match. No holds barred match. The one where I said I hit him with the boglin, and that ended us in like we couldn't continue, so the match was called off. So I hit him with a super code breaker as I was falling through a table. Yeah, we were both out. Then the next month after that, we had a ladder match for the belt, and I finally beat him. And like the crowd reaction was like, it was crazy. Because like for an indie show, I think we get pretty good crowds. Like we get like 200 plus easy almost every time. So
Yeah, from the videos that I saw, and I saw a couple of your guys' match togethers that were on YouTube. You guys had very large crowds, and they were for the most part, an interactive crowd. Looked like they were having a good time, and you guys, like you said, meshed really well together.
yeah, it's cool because like we sell like a lot of the tickets. Like so a lot of people were there for him. A lot of people cheered for me. So like it makes our matches like way louder. But now we're both baby faces. Like everybody can just cheer for one person. So like yeah. He got sick of me beating him up, so he had to turn face.
Got sick of getting hit by that boglin.
So what do you believe has been most impactful on your success? What has caused it?
Honestly, I think just the way I conduct myself, because like I said earlier, I get like opportunities like early on that I don't feel like I should have, because like I was still like nervous as shit going into the ring and stuff, but like people like me and they want to like help me out and like get me like elevate me more. So just I think my personality recently just that hooking up with Joe and like me and him like clicking and becoming friends, because I think that's one of the most important things for a wrestler is to find somebody that you can like work with really well, and you can bounce ideas off them, you can practice with them, you can have good matches with them, and it just like boosts your confidence and lets you become more comfortable when you go face other opponents. So that whole feud with me and him, like that pretty much put me where I am. Like I got my little boglin gimmick out of the deal. I got my first title.
Now, could we ever see the two of you maybe coming together and looking for, tag team gold or something like that? Obviously you mesh really well as rivals in the ring. Do you think that's something that could ever transition over well into a tag team run?
Oh, absolutely. We were actually gonna have a tag team match a couple of months, like last month. Yeah, we were gonna combine our gimmick. I even made a little a boglin with a little crown on it. It was supposed to be Queen Boggy Lynn, so they had like a king and a queen. We'll definitely team up someday.
All right, guys, and we're going to take a quick break to hear some words from our sponsor. All right, guys, for you, the listeners of the Gimmick Table, Advance Auto Parts is offering 20% off your first order. All you got to do is go to advanceautooffer.com/gimmick, enter promo code AAP20, for 20% savings.
Guys, Advanced Auto Parts has over 5,200 stores, over 100 Worldpac branches, and serves approximately 1,300 independently owned CarQuest branded stores. So Advanced Auto Parts basically has everything you need for your car, and if they don't have it, they can get it for you. They have brake pads, batteries, hoses, filters, decals, license plate frames, headlights, everything you need for your car. Go to Advanced Auto, order it online, and put the promo code in, save yourself some money, and help us get a little bit of a kickback.
And to save that 20% off your first order, again, go to advanceautooffer.com/gimmick, enter promo code AAP20 CAST for that 20% savings. And back to the show. We kind of talked about your successes getting your first title. What are some of the the pitfalls that you've had? Some of the not so much failures, but
some of the harder bumps you've taken.
Yeah,
the harder bumps I've taken. I never really actually got hurt in the ring. Just the things that are hard is just mental shit to overcome. Like you get to the point especially trying to get back in. I'd always have that self doubt and I wouldn't feel comfortable at times. Just my first couple matches, even though people would tell me man, you did great, blah blah blah. But everybody, you're your toughest critic. So if I don't feel right, I'm man, I hated that match. And everybody's no, watch it back. It looks good. I'm yeah, it looks good, but I didn't like the way it felt. So it's mainly for me anyway. It's a mental barrier to overcome. Not so much now though. I'm pretty comfortable. I just go out there and have fun now.
Kind of one of those barriers. After you overcome it, you're past that point.
Yeah. Now I'll go out there I'm gonna try to do a video game reference, a very subtle video game reference in this match, and try to amuse myself and hopefully others. Just go out and have fun. That's what I want to do.
So speaking of which, how did you said that you had taken the 3 years off, obviously to raise your son. How did you get over that uncomfortableness you had when you got back into the ring? What were some of the things that helped you really re-prepare yourself for getting back into wrestling?
The guy I mentioned earlier, who helped train me initially, Chris Chambers. He was a trainer at the new school. The way I got back into wrestling was just something I always thought of, but I didn't really know how to go about it anymore because I lost contact with pretty much everybody. And I was out running one day in my neighborhood, and I looked over, and this dude all about. But I wasn't just gonna knock on his door hey, how you doing? I see you have wrestling rings. Yeah. So every day I jogged past, I was one day I'll see somebody in those rings, and I'll just come up and awkwardly approach him that way. But a month later, I saw him. I was come up, and of course I had a Daniel Bryan shirt on, so I just looked like this idiot market kid. Hey, is this a pro wrestling ring? I used to do that. And they're yeah, we got to talking, and he's, I'm opening a school in a couple months. So I got his number, and then I seen his school's up, so I gave him a call. I went there, and I saw Chris was training. I'm awesome. So they put in a good word for me, and I basically got to retrain there for free. And Chris got me pretty comfortable after a month or so. Then he got me doing he got me into the Japanese stuff, and that's what made me more comfortable, because I was still, when I come back, like I said, I didn't really have a style or a direction in ring, knowing what I wanted to do. But once I started doing the Japanese strong style stuff, that just clicked with me. I'm all right, this is how I want to go about things.
Now, touching on your love for Japanese style wrestling, is that one of your goals, is to get over there and maybe work for New Japan Pro Wrestling?
No, it's I don't really do a lot of traveling because I don't want to. One thing I did tell myself when I got back into wrestling was I wasn't going to let it take away too much time away from my family. So I just try to stay local, maybe the surrounding states and stuff. I'll do, and a video game convention I'll do some traveling for, because cosplay wrestling that's still my favorite thing to do. I have the most fun doing that. But yeah, I don't see traveling. I got a full-time job I gotta do, so
can't argue with that, man. I mean, you got your priorities straight, and you get to do something that you love, so good for you. So looking back over all your matches, what's that one match, that one moment in a match where it finally clicked that I am a professional wrestler, this is what I'm doing?
Probably the no holds barred match with Joe King, when just the crowd was just going ape shit for 16 minutes, everybody's chanting Wild Child, and they have the King chants, and just it was crazy, everything, every move we did, everybody was oh, I could feel it. That was the first time ever I felt the crowd in the ring. Normally you just have tunnel vision, and you're just focused on the match, but the whole time I just felt everybody just cheering on. it was awesome. That when I grabbed climbed the ladder and grabbed the belt for the first time, like just that pop was like, whoa, like shit, like so loud.
And was that your first ladder match?
Yep.
Kind of explain to us what that was like.
That was actually a lot easier than we thought, because I'm gonna give away some secrets here. But me and Joe, like we had about a month to plan that match, so we actually came over to my house and we got my toy wrestling ring and we got some wrestlers and we planned the whole match with action figures and like a toy ladder, and we took like pictures and shit of like every spot and like made flashcards. It's like we just like flip them over in our phones. So we had the whole match, like we didn't even have to talk to each other the whole time. Like we knew what was next, and I was expecting to be like super sore. Like I don't know how, like I felt great after that match. Maybe it was just like the adrenaline just lasted like a whole week until I healed, but I really didn't feel hurt from it at all.
So you guys went Macho Man style with it, right? You know, move by move by move.
Yeah, we had to like think on the fly a little bit because we broke one of the ladders. So like there's one point in the match I'm looking for the second ladder and I see it like in the aisleway all broken, and like, oh shit. So we had to like call a couple audibles, but other than that, it was awesome.
And actually, that's the second time we've heard of people using wrestling action figures to come up with moves.
So obviously wrestling is about constant growth in the ring. How do you continuously elevate and innovate your in-ring work?
Right now I'm trying to actually figure out more ways to incorporate the Boglin thing and try to be a little more goofy, because I've been like when I'm Wild Child anyway, I'm always just really serious, like because I'm always trying to overcome the odds and been kind of like the underdog. So now I'm just kind of trying to make people laugh more, like do stupid shit with a toy from 1987. This makes me laugh, makes me happy. People seem to like it. Like kids come up and come see me at the merch booth and they're like, "Can I touch that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead." And like even though kids know it's fake, they're still like have that like little doubt in their minds because they're kids. I'm like, "Careful, he bites," and they're like, "What?" Shit like that. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out more funny spots with him, and just every once in a while, like I'll try out new moves and throw them out there.
So it seems to me that for you, it's not only about putting on a good match, but making sure that you yourself as well as the crowd are having a good time and having some laughs along with seeing some good wrestling.
Yeah, as long as I create a couple good moments that people actually remember, because you can do like 1,000 flashy moves, but if there's one spot, like one little moment in the match, like people actually remember, like they bring that up, and that's the cool thing here. And like people tell me like they enjoyed that. I get that a lot with that Mega Man match. Like people randomly message me like, "Wow, that was amazing."
I think we're gonna have to go find that after we finish.
Yeah,
this
definitely
up.
looking that up.
You can find it on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/Rad Mardigan. Haha.
Okay.
Thumbs up. And yeah, my YouTube channel is like, here's a wrestling match, and here's a compilation of 80s commercials, and here's me playing with Boglin's playing with fidget spinners in my backyard.
But hey, you're building on your gimmick and who you are. That's the one thing like I can appreciate. Like our guest last week, Carrie Awful, they have a very good YouTube page where like they do promos and stuff like that. And I saw a bunch on your page as well. And I think in this day and age, that's very important. We all know in this day and age, it's not like back when we were kids and you'd have to wait to watch wrestling to see what they were going to say and what they're going to do. There's Twitter, there's Facebook, there's YouTube. You can see it everywhere. And it seems that some guys, yourself included, and them have really taken advantage of the idea of using that to help promote themselves. And I just think that's an ingenious way of self-marketing.
Yeah. Like sometimes like people will be like message me on Twitter like, "Thanks for taking time to talk to me. It's awesome of you." I'm like, I'm just a normal ass dude. Like I'll talk to anybody. Like like anybody wants to message me in chat, like hell yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing too. Like it's we obviously when we started these interviews, we're just randomly messaging people going, I pray and hope somebody just responds to us. And the great thing about everybody that we've had an opportunity to talk to is you're all awesome people. You take time out of your busy life to sit down with us, and we really appreciate that. But you come to realize that you're no different than us. We probably have 1,000 things that we have in common that if it wasn't for wrestling and this show, we would never know about one another.
Yeah.
So it's cool how wrestling can help bring people together. And from what I've seen, there's a really good community in the indie circuit.
Yes, it's awesome. Just like all the people I meet on just Twitter and everything, like I always have great conversations with them, and usually find we have a lot more in common than just wrestling. So we end up like hardly even talking about wrestling because there's other stuff out there we can talk about. We actually become like internet friends.
It's the way of the world, internet friends.
Yeah.
So what do you believe are some of the intangibles for a person to be successful in wrestling?
Let's see. For one, you gotta really believe in yourself and not let your brain hold you back, which I could have done several times, but I barely avoided it. You gotta just listen to anybody that gives you advice, accept constructive criticism. Don't take anything like anybody. If somebody's trying to sit you down and tell you what you did wrong, most of the time they're trying to help you, but there can be people that are just dicks. But most of it's constructive criticism. You just got to take any bit of advice you have to heart and just listen and just keep trying to grow and connect with the crowd. Find a character that you can be comfortable with and portray, and just have fun. Mainly, have fun with it. Don't take yourself too seriously.
Do you believe that's why you've been so successful? Is one, your character seems to be a lot based on who you are actually as a person, and that really there is no gimmick here, but this is who you are, just kind of amplified, on stage, in a ring, doing what you love.
Yeah, it's like I can actually carry a Boglin around in public when at a wrestling show, and nobody's like, "Who's this asshole? Like, why does he have a toy?" And then if I explain to him that it's not, I tell somebody down the street, they're like, "Get me away from this psycho."
Now, from all your years, all your matches, what are some of the takeaways that you've gotten through being a wrestler?
Takeaways, mainly I take away the fact that I'm glad that I finally followed through and did something that I wanted to do, because I was always that guy that would just man, it'd be cool to sing in a power metal band. I want to be a wrestler. I want to make video games, blah blah blah, and all things I thought of. But wrestling was the one thing I actually all right, let's give this a shot, and it just happened to work out.
Now, out of all the matches you've had, you mentioned a couple. Are there any other matches that really, looking back at them, they're some of your favorite matches personally?
Yeah, definitely. Just for fun factor and everything, it's just the Sub-Zero versus Ryu match me and Joe had at last June. We just had a blast with that match.
I mean, that sounds super fun. I don't know why all the conventions aren't contracting you guys to do stuff like that.
I wish they would, because I've only been able to do it twice a year, and I would do that every month if I could.
I feel like that's a good market.
I feel like there's a lot of people that share that sentiment with you too.
2018 is I want to do a cosplay wrestling match as Skeletor.
Oh,
that will happen.
And who do you want to face?
I don't care. I'll face anybody.
You face someone
down.
Cool.
Skeletor's not laying down for anybody.
Because that's like a real life celebrity death match.
It is. I mean, I guess ideally I'd like to fight He-Man, but
yeah, but I mean that's what they're expecting. It'd be cool if you fought Rick Sanchez.
Yeah.
Or Voltron.
I want to wrestle a Skeletor and just fight some normal ass dude like that. Just so it makes completely no sense.
And just break them in half immediately.
That's gonna make me. You want to defeat me, you fool?
So who would be your one dream match for active wrestlers right now?
Active wrestlers right now? I'd want to be a heel, of course, because that's a dream. And I want to be managed by Bobby Heenan, and I want to wrestle Chris Jericho. Is that oddly specific?
That was oddly specific. That is the most specific answer we've ever had.
Somebody has a dream, Jerno.
And because I like to have fun, I want to be in a Royal Rumble because I love Royal Rumbles. Even though I know they're going to disappoint me every year, I still get super excited for them.
You go into the Royal Rumble with so much, angst on what's going to happen, and it always lets you down.
Yeah, I'm always just mad the next day at work. That Rumble fucking sucked.
A Royal Rumble will never live up to playing in a Royal Rumble on PlayStation 2 SmackDown Live. With 7 of your friends.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the experience of actually being in a real Royal Rumble defeats playing it on a video game.
Well, I meant watching it.
Yeah, I'd want to come in at number 6 in a Royal Rumble because that's when stuff starts picking up and it lasts to the final 7. There we go.
Who would you want to throw you out?
Who would want to throw me out? Shit, that's a good question. Nominated when one of the big dudes come out and clear the ring. So I guess right now a guy like Braun Strowman would be cool.
Just get tossed.
When there's too many people in the ring and the one big dude comes out and he gets 7 eliminations and I've never seen anything like this. You saw it last year.
Yeah,
same thing happens.
It happens every year. A big guy comes down.
This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. What a display of athleticism.
Although Braun is a beast when it comes. I mean, watching him do a kip up, I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I normally don't get into big dudes, but that dude's awesome. Yeah. He's my favorite to watch on Raw right now.
Yeah, I like what they're doing with him, and they didn't do it too fast either. They let it build naturally and let the fans get behind him first, and then he really has lived up to all the hype that's been built around him.
It's like so early on in his career too. Like he's only going to get better. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I would like to see him against. I think that's what's going to be next is him and Lesnar.
Yeah, I think at the No Mercy.
It should be. Something's going to happen though, so he doesn't win, and they'll keep him looking strong.
Yeah, probably.
Because they like to tease us. So if you had any advice, somebody comes up to you on the street and they're like, what do I need to do? What do I need to be? Who do I need to be a professional wrestler? What do you tell them?
Well, for one, you need to actually go get trained, and you always need to be yourself and listen, and don't be the guy going in there thinking you're going to do Canadian Destroyers in 2 weeks because nobody likes you then. You're annoying. And just stick with the basics, learn at a slow pace, and be respectful. Don't piss people off. Try to make people laugh. Try to get along with everybody, and you're good.
And then when's the next time we can see you in the squared circle?
That'll be September 16th at WBW's Reign of Terror. I'm actually in the main event, street fight against TJ Dynamite, defending my WBW Television Championship.
And this is, you said, almost a year now.
Yeah, well, it will be a year at that point.
And how many title defenses you got under your belt?
6, wait, 4 to 5, something like that. I lost track.
Do you keep that belt on your person at all times?
Yeah, it's right here. Oh, it's over there somewhere with all my other action figures. Yeah.
Oh, that's a pretty sweet looking belt.
Yeah, I like it.
So yeah, you definitely let us know. You know, if you guys get some stuff going out on Twitter, we'll retweet anything you need. Anything you got coming up after that, let us know. If you want us to put a plug on the show as it gets closer, we got space on the opening for anything that you guys need. We love helping people out. That's what we're here for. How do people get a hold of you on social media? What are all your outlets?
So there's I'm on Twitter at RadMardigan84, and same on I think that's RadMardigan on Instagram, but I don't ever use that. And then my YouTube page, youtube.com//RadMardigan. I'm trying to upload more videos on there, but I just don't have a lot of the time with all this overtime I'm working. I have done and planned, but until then I'll just make commercial compilations and post old matches so it looks like I'm actively uploading stuff.
But before we go, you got anything to say to your opponent on September 16th?
Just that there's going to be no more DQs. 'Cause he got DQ'd, I got DQ'd, so clearly we don't like to follow the rules. So we're just going to go in there and fight like men, one-on-one, and hopefully he won't bring his little Rat Pack buddies to try and cheat me out of the win like he's known to do. Hopefully this time he can come by himself, fight me.
Well, I mean, to be fair, does that mean you have to leave Boggy at home?
No.
I mean, is that like an unfair advantage for you to have a second partner in the ring at all times?
It's a street fight.
Boggy only steps in if he needs to.
Right, Boggy only steps in.
Our last match, the referee, he tried to screw me. He didn't count to 3, and I went and I asked Boggy what to do, and Boggy just took control of my arm and punched him in the face. So I got disqualified. I didn't do it. Boggy did it. So
all right. I mean,
he goes on my arm, and I lose all control. And
he's his own entity.
Yeah.
All right, well, we wish you the best of luck in that match. We hope you retain your title. Once you get it up on YouTube, let us know, and we will go ahead and promote that for you as well. Thank you again.
Yeah, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thank you.
We're bad at goodbyes.
Yeah, no, you hang out.
No, you hang out.
I forgot I wanted to bring up Dragon Ball Z once because in your last episode you said it was brought up.
Oh yeah, can we do a quick little conversation and just throw Dragon Ball Z in there, and Matt can cut it in somewhere.
I'll cut it in at the end.
How do we even begin it?
So, let's just do an unhinged section talking about Dragon Ball Z.
Okay. I don't know anything about Dragon Ball Z.
I know a little bit more than limited knowledge.
Okay.
So,
well,
I've watched a lot of episodes late night.
Well, I'll try not to go on too much of a tangent about it.
Yeah, no, we'll just go. All right, for the unhinged section tonight, let's have you. Who would your Dragon Ball Z spirit animal be?
Because Vegeta's like the kind of the heel, but not really, and Piccolo's like the guy that's like on the verge of being one of the strongest ones, but he's down. Oh, well, does that make people mad? I've never have.
I don't know. You cut out.
Come on, guys.
What?
I'm just doing my voices. What?
So yeah, I don't know anything about Dragon Ball Z. So name a wrestler who would be your Vegeta.
A wrestler that would be my
Vegeta. Wait, Matt, how do you think you spell Vegeta?
Fujita.
That's Fajita.
You say Vegeta?
Fujita. Like Fujifilm.
I told you I don't watch Dragon Ball Z.
Fujifilm Vegeta.
Half the reason I have him here is for the pop culture references that might come up on the show.
Mr. Fuji is my wrestling Fujita.
So obviously you're a big Dragon Ball Z fan.
Yeah, well, I was. Like not so much anymore.
Yeah, I don't keep up with the new stuff. Like back in high school, I used to watch it all.
Yeah, I haven't watched Super or anything yet. I will eventually.
I used to go download like the unedited Japanese versions that actually showed like blood and stuff. And stuff.
In high school, I made money off that shit.
Yeah?
Like I would. When my first job, I spent all my money importing VHS tapes from Japan and that were subtitled, and I would sell them to people. I would dub them and sell them to people at work. I mean, not at work, but high school.
Wait,
like
how would you dub them? You dubbed them with your own voice?
No, they weren't dubbed. They were subtitled.
Oh, all right.
I mean, I dubbed the VHS tape into another one. Like I had 5 VCRs in my room, and I would like make just multiple copies. I made so much money off that.
Bootlegging DBZ.
Yeah, like people would come up to me in high school. I didn't even know, but hey, you're the guy with their Dragon Ball Z videos.
That's awesome.
I'm like, yeah, come to my locker. What do you want?
For anybody who is listening out there that was born or didn't like attend school during the 90s, you have no idea what we're talking about.
Also, if you don't know what a VHS tape is, it's a big square block that has a DVD in it.
Yeah, you can pause, fast forward, and rewind them, and you can record things over them as well.
You could literally cut part of it out if you wanted to. You could edit it yourself.
Yeah.
I used to have a VCR and I could record. You could plug in like a microphone to it, so you could record the TV show, but you could have your voice over it. And I used to do that with television shows. I was a weird child.
Nah, that sounds fun.
That sounds awesome. I need to find one of those now.
I can't remember what videotape it was, but I remember it broke. Like the tape had ripped inside, and my dad took the VHS cassette apart and took Scotch tape and taped it back together. And I thought he was like a fucking miracle worker.
I mean, I could probably easily do that with my computer, but it'd be way more rad if I'm doing it on a VCR.
Yeah, that's old school. God, imagine how people have to used to do that stuff.
Right?
Like, hey, you have it lucky nowadays.
Yeah, you don't even know what the struggle was like.
Yeah. Our sound guy, I'm just looking at him like, you have a MacBook, it does it all. Well, you do some, I'm sorry. Because when I do it, it doesn't sound as good. Like, how does he make it sound so good? And yeah, down the road, we'll have to have you back on again. And if you know anybody that's looking to get on a podcast, let them know about us.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to help anybody out, as much people as we can. That's our goal.
All right.
Well,
Sweet.
I hope you have a good night, sir.
See ya.
Later, guys. Bye.
Later. All right, guys, and that's going to wrap it up for us here at the Gimmick Table today. Thank you again for listening to the show. We had a wonderful time with our guest. Bats, as always, you are such a wonderful fill-in co-host.
Still filling in for Joe.
Still filling in, going, what now? 6 episodes strong?
This is 6 episodes now, yeah.
And guys, if you like the show and you want to give us any feedback, you can find us on Twitter. That's going to be @gimmick_table. We are also on Facebook. All you got to do is search Gimmick Table Podcast. Same thing with YouTube. And if you want to, subscribe to us on iTunes or Stitcher.
Hook us up with a 5-star rating.
Yeah, give us that 5-star rating and subscribe. And we got some friends out there. They are part of the PWO, the Podcast World Order, for more great wrestling podcasts. They forced me to say that. We have the Wrestling Nerd Alliance, all the way from 8 Mile. And you can find them on Twitter @WNA Podcast, Facebook @Wrestling Nerd Alliance, and they are also on iTunes, Stitcher, and Podbean.
We also want to throw some words out there in the internet to Wretched Wrestling. Their Twitter is Wretched Wrestle. Their Facebook is Wretched Wrestling, and they're also on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and Periscope.
You might not want to watch the Periscope, it'll hurt your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, some things you can't unsee, so.
And then we have S Marks the Spot on Twitter. That's going to be @SMarkSpot. Facebook as well, S Mark Spot. They are on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Podbean.
And lastly, but not leastly, we do want to throw a shout out to Raw is Boar.
Raw is Boar.
And that's their Twitter and Facebook. And they're also on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Podian.
And that's going to do it again for us here on the Gimmick Table. Thank you for listening, and we hope you all have a wonderful day.
See ya.